What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to look at a bunch of new cards that have been revealed from OP-10. We have a very big update, including both of the secret rares, so I think it's time we had a look at this big update, including both of the secret rares. Sound like a plan? Excellent. So let's start off having a look at Gear 4 Luffy. New secret rare Gear 4 Luffy. That sounds fun, right? We've got a 6-cost, 7,000 power black, and we've got a skill whereby once per turn, this character can't be KO'd by effects, or by your opponent's effects. That's kind of awesome. That's really strong. Now, it's only once per turn, but it basically means if your opponent wants to get rid of you using effects, they have to do it twice. They have to drop a card that would KO you, and then drop a second card that would KO you. So having a 6-cost 7k body, counter plus 1,000, it's fine. Vanilla would be 6-cost 8k, so 6-cost 7k with skills is fine. But being able to save yourself from being KO'd by effects once per turn, like every turn, yes! That sounds genuinely brilliant. But that's not all. Although honestly, that alone would be alright. Because we've got, on attacking, you may put 3 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, and then if your opponent has got 5 or more cards in hand, they trash one. Yeah, this is going to wear down your opponent's resources, and I think both these skills together really combine for something very, very nice with Luffy. Because first of all, your opponent basically has to drop 2 cards to try and get rid of you. The first card they drop to get rid of you with an effect, to KO you with an effect, won't actually work. So that's going to be kind of annoying. It means they're going to have to use more resources to get you off the field. But then you've got this skill whereby every turn you attack with this and your opponent has to trash a card from their hand, and all of a sudden that's more resources that they're losing. And I know there's an obvious thing here where you go, ah ha ha ha, but don't forget, Wassy, if they only have 4 or fewer cards in hand, this skill doesn't work. And yes, you're absolutely right. But then they've only got 4 or fewer cards in hand. So this is not going to work nearly as well as you might want it to. This seems like a very strong card. I like this card. This one seems pretty gosh darn good. It is a secret rare. It is Gear 4 Luffy. We would expect it to be good. But I'm just saying, I am not disappointed by this Luffy. But I did promise you both the new secret rares. Seems a bit rude if I stop at showing you one. So we've got ourselves a Trafalgar Law. Don't forget, of course, one of the leaders from OP-10 is actually Trafalgar Law. So I told you we were going to get a bunch of yellow Supernova cards. We had to get a bunch of yellow Supernova cards because firstly, we had the yellow-green Trafalgar Law, who is Supernova. But secondly, we're getting the mono yellow Kid leader, who is obviously Supernova. So, yeah. We kind of desperately need a bunch of yellow Supernova in this set in order to actually make these leaders work. So, we've got a secret rare yellow Supernova Kid. Are we excited? Well, we've got an on-play. You may put a Supernova character from your hand on top of your life, face down. Oh, and then if your leader has a Supernova type, give it 1 rested Don. Which I'm not even terribly sure you necessarily need here, but getting arrested Don is a nice little bonus. But essentially, when you play this, you get to put a card on top of your life. But as always, you're putting a card from your hand on top of your life, so you get to choose which card it is, you get the choice of what's on top of there. Your opponent will obviously know you do need to show your opponent here, because you need to show them that it is a Supernova card. So it's going to be face down. They'll have to remember, but I feel pretty good about this, honestly. I think it's going to be okay. But this seems very, very strong. It does have to be a Supernova card you put on top of your life, but you get to stack the top of your life? That's kind of awesome. I showed you a Zoro the other day, which is a Supernova, and it's a 3-cost 5,000 power. If your life is lower than your opponent's, if you've got fewer life remaining than your opponent, you gain Rush. And as a trigger, trash a card from your hand, and if your leader is Supernova, play this character. So you could put Roanoa Zoro on top of your life, knowing that the next time your opponent takes a life, you get to play Roanoa Zoro with Rush for free. And I'm expecting there to be more revealed in the future. This is just like an example. This is just one card that I'm just like, look, there's a yellow Supernova, it's in this set, it's got trigger. This is something we can, get behind. I am convinced there are going to be more, and we know that yellow cards love their trigger. So this is just another secret rare here that I'm looking at, and I'm like, yeah, this seems good. I am all in on this one. But remember the other day when I showed you this image from a magazine and suggested that maybe we'd be getting a Doflamingo leader in OP-10. Well, obviously that never happened. We saw all 6 leaders. None of them are Doflamingo, which means this card has to be an artwork of a super rare from the set, and it is. We have got ourselves a super rare Don Quixote Doflamingo. And okay, fine, it's not a leader. Little bit sad. But it is a nice new super rare to go with the 2 new secret rares we're showing here. So that seems alright by me. What we got here is 8 cost, 9,000 power. And we've got an on-play skill, Don -1. Play a 5 cost or lower Doflamingo Pirate from your hand. Oh. Yeah, that's really good. Fine, it's Don -1, but remember at this stage, we've got so many cards in purple that will replenish this. We don't really care. Okay, that might be a slight exaggeration, but we don't care anywhere near as much as we used to. Take the Charlotte Pudding from OP-08 as an example. Once per turn, when a Don card from your field is returned to your Don deck, add a Don card from your Don deck rested. It's a free cost card. We've obviously got Black Maria that can replenish your Don if you get too low. And then we've got the Captain Eustace Kid from OP-05, which is basically the same skill as Charlotte Pudding, except the Don comes out active rather than rested, which does make it significantly better, but is also a 5 cost rather than a free cost. But then again, it also has blocker, you know the deal at this point. What I'm saying is the Don -1 is not that big a deal. But you get to play a 5 cost or lower Doflamingo Pirate from your hand when you play this, which is absurdly good. So you're paying 8 Don, and then it's Don -1, but even if you're not immediately getting it straight back, you can obviously Don minus a rested Don, so it doesn't matter too much. You're paying 8 Don for an 8 cost and a 5 cost, and as I've told you guys a lot, when we have these kind of skills, it's quite important to me. I desperately want a 5 cost. I'm always looking for a 5 cost here. I showed you Senor Pink the other day, although now we got a better look at that one. That's the on-play Don -1. Add a purple event card of a cost of 5 or less from your trash to your hand. And then set one of your Don cards to active. So you get that on-play skill, as well as having a 6k body on the board, as well as having your Doflamingo on the board, which seems pretty gosh darned awesome. So, yeah. This is something I've absolutely got my eye on. This Doflamingo looks good. Anytime I can pay for 1 character and get 2 characters, but it's not actually just 2 characters, because then you also get the skill of Senor Pink coming in as well. Anytime I can get all of this when I'm only actually paying for 1 character, just seems like an absolute win. Honestly, I'm liking this Doflamingo. This Doflamingo looks very, very cool. But wait! There's one more card I want to show you in this video. We've got a new Roanoa Zoro. I've just started watching the anime with my boys. They're 4 and 2 years old. We've watched the first 4 episodes, and they are already discovering that Roanoa Zoro is a very cool character indeed. But what does this new Roanoa Zoro actually do? Well, what we've got here is a black Straw Hat Dressrosa Supernova, and we've got 4 cost, 6,000 power, and on play, you may rest one of your Dressrosa leaders or stages to KO one of your opponent's 4 cost or lower characters, and then trash the top 2 cards of your deck. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let's dig into it. In terms of resting your leader or stage, remember back in OP-04 we had the Rebecca Dressrosa leader, which of course is a dual color and has 5 life. But dual color 5 life is generally not the way we do things. The payoff is that Rebecca is not allowed to attack. And if you can't attack, you might as well, rest it to activate a skill instead. But then again, we also had the stage, Corrida Coliseum, which just kind of sits there saying if your leader has Dressrosa type, your Dressrosa characters can attack characters the turn they're played. They can't attack the leader, but they can attack characters. And so this one, it doesn't matter, you can rest it and it doesn't turn it off. So we've got a million different skills in Dressrosa that want you to rest the stage. You will have to choose between them, admittedly, but this is one that you absolutely can use here. And then you just get to KO a 4 cost or lower. Yes, trashing the top 2 cards of your deck is awkward, and blind milling yourself is often not ideal. But we do have like a million black cards that like playing from the trash. It's not the end of the world. This is very much a skill for black cards. And there are cards that can take advantage of it. But even then, the blind milling does make me a little bit nervous here, because there's always a chance that you end up milling something you would, well, to put it bluntly, rather not have milled. But either way, we got a new Dressrosa character. Obviously goes with the Usopp Dressrosa Lisa. I'm sure you've all figured that out by now. And we've got a really nice skill that can just KO your opponent's character. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. This seems like something we can absolutely get behind. So yeah, there we go. 2 new secret rares, both of the ones from the set. And a new super rare that looks very good. And a new Roanoa Zoro as well. I think I've delivered on what I set out to, so now it's over to you guys. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.